morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you get a chance to watch this video. I greet you all. My name is Aline. Welcome to my new YouTube channel. I know that I have made some changes and I have made I completely created a new channel because of the new season that I'm in. I'm officially a life coach, and and because of the change, I had to make sure that I create a different platform to be able to put all the information that are related to my new purpose and new cause for the seasons ahead. So I would like today to talk about where do you put your emergency funds, your savings account. Many people put their money. They have multiple savings accounts. Let me tell you this. I thought about that before I discovered what I'm going to talk to you about, and I discovered it in 2018. Wasn't that long ago. Actually, I discovered it in 2017 because I was about to be turning 30, so I was 29 years at the time. I discovered this tool in 2017, which is not long ago. So before then, I thought like you, that's the best way to save, the best way to save for your children, for the future of your children, is to have a savings account. Now, if you don't know anything about me, my name is Aline, and I'm a long-term investor. One of the things that I believe building a generational wealth, not just for my children, but for the generations to come even after me. That's what I believe, and that's what I am advocating. That's why I literally decided to devote my life to actually teach people to build generational wealth, to think about the future, to think about other people, to think about the next generation, not just about making money for you or making money for your family. So to do that, you have to find a different tool. You have to find a different channel that will multiply your income. Now, if you've watched previous videos about me, there is a video that I posted that said the 7 rules to master money. One of the rules to master money is to learn how to circulate money, how to multiply money, the art of investment. Now, when you have a savings account, right, any kind of savings account, like I would say maybe some of the elite savings account, like the premium savings account, will have like an interest of 1%, but that's even rare. That's rare. Most savings accounts have interest rate of 0.001 or 0.1 or 0.0001. So meaning the amount that you put in is going to be the amount that you're going to take out. Let's say if you are investing 1,000 for 50 years, you're going to have 50,000. However, now you have to remember that when you put your money in a bank institution, that money is affected to the inflation. Okay, so anytime the inflation is going up, it is affecting your money. It affects the value of your money. Now, if you live in America, or even if you live anywhere in the world, the inflation is crazy. Right now, we are in 8-point-something%. I think 8.26% inflation. That's the inflation that is calculated. Now, some analysis said that when you take that kind of inflation, you have to double. So meaning, we are in the double digit, which is very, very, very hard and very bad, and it's on red, and it has never been done before. But the last time we had this high of inflation in America was 40 years ago. So you can imagine it's not good. Meaning the value of the dollar has deducted. So if, let's say, you tell me that you have 50,000 in your bank account, in your savings account right now, it's not really 50,000. You have to calculate it with the inflation rate of the 8-point-something%, 8.26 or 8-point-something, 27%. So that's how you will see the real value of what you have in the bank account. Now, I am not here to give you the bad news, but I'm here to tell you the plain truth. We are going the next days, in the next month ahead, okay, we are going to face higher inflation rate. Nobody is having the hope that this inflation is going to go down anytime soon, meaning your money is going to continue to get that effect of inflation rate. over and over. We don't know until when. Some analysis are saying that this economic recession will last more than 14 years, more than 15 years. Nobody can see it because the future will tell us. As a long-term investor, I never look at the present. I never focus on the present. I'm always looking for the future. I'm always trying to secure the future. That's why I'm called a long-term investor. Every long-term investor is never investing for the now. They always look at the return on investment for the future. Now, because I'm a long-term investor, I would say God blessed me and allowed me to be surrounded by people that have knowledge, people of knowledge. And because I also hired a great team that helped me in financial knowledge and financial literacy, like I always tell people, do always know that your knowledge is limited. You have to be willing to hire professional help that will give you advices that will protect your asset and help you to learn how to protect your assets for the future. So a little bit about my past. So I became a long-term investor. In all honesty, I did not start to invest just because I wanted to be rich. That was not my intention. And to this day, it's not my intention. I began to invest in the stock market because I wanted to pay my tuition fees. I wanted to graduate as a geologist, debt-free, with no student loan. And really, by knowledge and by the grace of God, I graduated debt-free at the University of Pretoria in South Africa. So I got the dream. I fulfilled my dream by the knowledge that I acquired. So I found out, I discovered Warren Buffett in 2009. If you want to know the whole story, please watch the video that is titled Why I Became a Life Coach. I talked a lot about the story, and I'll put it in the caption in this video so that you can actually watch it and understand it more and know more about my background. Now, because of that, I had a thorough study. Me, I love knowledge. I never, ever do anything without taking the time to learn the subject, to learn about the knowledge, to learn and understand the why. Now, because I follow a very wise man, his name is Warren Buffett. I honor him. He's my mentor. To this day, I follow every single thing. When he say jump, I literally will, because I follow him. I've been doing that for 12 years, and I'm telling you, every advice that he has given has really brought a lot of yield and a great return. And like I said, you never change a great team to a good one. So you always will stick to your great team. So because he's really a great mentor, I would not replace him for anyone. Now, Warren Buffett has 7 rules, right, that he goes by. The first rule, he says never ever lose money, and the second one is don't forget rule 1. Now, if you want to go in depth about that understanding of never lose money, you have to understand, because if you invest in the stock market, you will have losses. I'm going to put it in quotation. You will have losses. Sometimes the stock market will go down. Sometimes it goes up, and to Warren Buffett's view, it's not really a loss. It's actually the best moment for him to invest even more, because of the knowledge and the perspective that he has as a long-term investor. Now, if you are a trader, you will think it's a loss because you just want to have the money now or sell and buy and sell and buy. I'm not a trader. I am a long-term investor. So because of that, you have to know where to put your money so that you don't experience losses. Now, in all honesty, if you put your money in a savings account, you are going to experience losses, because the inflation rate will affect the value of your money. So now you have to understand that the money that you placed in is not necessarily going to be the money that you are going to take out, because the money is going to be affected by the inflation. Now, in 2017, I was really fortunate. I was living in Chicago, and I was fortunate to have a friend who was a financial advisor. He was very close to me. And he really, I for the first time, for the first time, because I'm a very private person when it comes to my investment and my assets. I'm very, very private. I actually literally opened up to people about my investment skills in 2021 in 2022 when God told me, you know what, you have to teach people the knowledge that you have received for the past 12 years. So in 2017, I had a very good friend who was a financial advisor. He's still a financial advisor. And I was, I was like, you know what? I trust him. Like, let me just ask him for some advice. And I told him, I sat down with him and I told him a little bit about the assets that I have and everything that I had. And at that time, I did not know anything about IUL, the Index Universal Life Insurance that I'm talking about. And I didn't have anything. And he's like, do you have an IUL? I'm like, what is IUL? And he's like, oh my goodness, Aline, with these things that you have and your investment portfolio, like you really, really need to invest in an IUL. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, okay. But let's find time and I'm gonna sit down with you and explain to you what an IUL is. I'm like, okay, cool. And he sat down with me and he explained to me what an IUL was and how important and how every wealthy person or even investor, every wise person actually has an IUL and does not have a savings account. And I remember that there were some interviews that I would hear some wealthy people say, don't have a savings account, don't put your money in the bank, don't do this. But I didn't know what was the alternative to that. I knew that many people did not trust banks because, banks can go bankrupt. But they will always say, put your money in a AAA company, AAA companies. AAA company are the one that actually funds bank, okay? So AAA companies are very, like, they manage like trillions of dollars. Like they cannot go bankrupt. So I was hearing AAA's company, AAA's. I'm like, what is AAA's company? So before 2017, I had no idea of what IUL was. I had no idea of what was it about. All I knew was it's something that the wealthy do. But because I'm somebody who do research, I just knew one day I will find out. But of course, sometimes you need somebody who's already in it to help you in that. And I was really fortunate that my friend who had already had, he owned an IUL. He knew all about what it was and everything like that. He's like, I'm going to help you actually choose the best one and all that. So I was like, okay. And because I trusted him, I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, no problem, let's do that. So of course we went and we went to a company that does that. I sat down and I thought about the terms of the policy, the IUL policy. So now the Index Universal Life Insurance, it is a permanent life insurance. Now you have to know that there are two types of life insurance. We have the term life insurance or the traditional life insurance. Those kind of life insurance policies are life insurance that you are renting. It's not really a life insurance that you are owning. Meaning, when you pay the premium. When you pay the premium of that kind of life insurance, you are paying it so that your beneficiary, when you die, if you die, let's say, they will have that. So you cannot have access to it once you are still alive. So it's a rented life insurance. Now, the second type is the permanent life insurance or universal life insurance. That one it's a life insurance that you are owning. It's yours. It's your own. You are not renting. It belongs to you. You don't have to wait to die to actually have access to that. Now, in every life insurance, they have 4 phases. You have the accumulation, the distribution, the contribution, and the transfer. Accumulation, contribution, distribution, and transfer, right? So it differs now because depending on the type of life insurance. You have some life insurance that are tax favored. Okay, you have others that actually they defer the taxes until the time of transfer. That is a disguise that I tell people. I'd rather pay upfront the taxes and be done with it than wait until the end that when I don't know how bad the taxes will be, how the government in the future will be, because if you read history and you look at history, taxes are not going down. The more we go forward, the taxes are going up. So I'd rather actually pay the taxes that I know now and not have my family or my beneficiary and have like to worry about the taxes when it comes to the transfer, whenever I will be transitioning to heaven, and they will get the beneficiary of my life insurance. So the good thing about having somebody to help me, I got to the best company, the best firm that with IUL. They are great companies in America that have great IUL policies that you can actually own, right? So as I was sitting and they were talking to me about the benefits, I was just sitting and I'm like, oh my goodness, how come people don't talk about it? How come people don't talk about the IUL? Like, I hear some people talking about it, but not really. It's not really emphasized. When I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV in real life. I really don't. I don't have time for it. But even when I get a time to just watch sometimes, I have never actually had an ad of an IUL. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe I missed it because I don't watch it. But people don't talk about it. But they are advertisement about savings account, checking accounts, and all that. And I'm like, this is weird. It's really weird. And as I was sitting and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm like, oh goodness gracious. And the good thing about the index universal life insurance, it can be linked to indexes in the stock market. So that also will give you like an indexing a technique. It will give you an indexing technique that will protect you when the market crashes. You know, your money is no longer in the market, so you don't lose. When the index goes up, you get money. When the index crashes, you don't. You are still stable. So all of this, I'm sitting and I'm like, oh my goodness. Now I understand when Warren Buffett was saying when the tides rise, we will find out who was swimming naked. All of those things made so much sense. And now I realize, oh wait a minute, I can actually use an IUL as my savings account, meaning I can put money and it and use it for college fund, emergency funds, death benefits, of course, because it's a life insurance. But use it also estate planning, real estate management, working capital account, lump sum transfer, all of those benefits with an account that is not in a bank, so that is not affected to inflation or whatever. And the thing is, it doubles and multiplies. So the money, because it's a life insurance, it keeps on multiplying because of the rule of 72. I left the meeting mind blowing. It was like a light bulb just like open. The following day, I literally wiped out all my savings, and I was like, I invested in my IUL. And from that day, I never owned a savings account. From that day, I never own a savings account, and I don't think I will ever own a savings account. And I don't advertise anyone to have a savings account, because I discovered, first of all, it has high interest rate. I think last year, now I've been owning an IUL, my first IUL in 2017. I have more than one, but my first IUL was in 2017. Not last year, 2020, the interest rate that I got was, I think it was over 10. I don't even remember. I don't have the exact amount, but it was higher. It was higher than any savings account that you can have, because of the policy that I have. So why am I talking about this right now? I am recording this video before the Fed have a meeting, and that meeting is going to affect a lot the market, the stock market, whether it's the stock market and everything. Investors, we are all waiting for that meeting to be done to find out what's going to happen. That is going to affect banks. which is going to affect your savings, which is going to affect your money. Now, this is the best time for you to put your money in a safe place where you are not going to lose its value, where you are going to protect your money from inflation, and where you are going to make sure that your retirement funds are not affected to the economic recession. Now, in the caption below, I have a masterclass that I'm teaching, and that masterclass has 7 topics, and the last topic 7, is called legacy planning. Now, for me, the IUL is not just a savings account. Like I say, it's a life insurance. So it's actually for my children and my children's children. So because of that, I owe to myself and to my generation to teach people the benefit of an IUL, because I discovered it in 2017. And from the time I discovered it, I cannot explain to you the amount and the multiplication and the more. I mean, I'm only 33, about to be 34 in a few weeks. Now, I started in 2017. I was 29, okay, when I started. I believe that I will live for over 100. Now you can imagine, with the rule of 72, the accumulation of wealth that it would do. So it's far different than a savings. With the savings, whatever I put is what I get. Actually, it's not even what I get. It's going to be affected by the inflation of the time when my children decide to get that money, or whenever I decide to withdraw that money. So the IUL is the best for me personally. It is the best emergency fund system to do. Now, I will advise you to learn and join the masterclass, whether you are 32, 21, 22, 18, 17, 52, 58, 70. You need this, because let me tell you this: whether you have an IRA, whether you have like a mutual fund, whether you have 401k, whether you have an annuity, let me tell you this: on my social media, I literally show the difference between the IRA, the 401k, the annuity, and the IUL, and how literally the IUL is more tax favored than anything. I can tell you this: it is the best place to put your money. It is the best place. And of course, there are so many IUL. Not every IUL is great. There are many IUL that the policies are ridiculous. So you need knowledge. You need to know which kind of policy to take. You need to understand. That's why I always tell people, don't rush. When I'm talking to you now, don't just go and say, I need to find an IUL agent and I need to get an IUL. No, you need knowledge. Let me tell you, knowledge is the bedrock of everything. Knowledge is the bedrock of understanding. It's the bedrock of wisdom, and wisdom creates wealth. So if you just run and say, Aline says IUL, I need to get IUL, without the knowledge, you are going to lose. Because if you go to an IUL agent without knowing what you want, they are going to give you what they think you need, not what necessarily will be good for you in the long run. So for me, as a long-term investor, I value knowledge, because of knowledge protects me from losses in the future, and knowledge allows me to protect my assets whenever any situation occurs. So I encourage you, join the masterclass. The topic 7 literally will teach you what is the IUL, what is the difference between an IUL and indexing technique. I will teach you that, and that's going to give you tools that will help you choose the right IUL. Now, if you say, Aline, I want you to help me even choose the IUL, I can even refer to you, my friends. I can refer to you the people that help me have the best policies. But that is different. That will be, you will have to hire me as your personal coach. That's also is I have a 6-month program, whereas I will take you through the 7 topics intensively, and then at the end I will practically help you, give you referrals, refer you to financial advisors, wealth manager. I refer you to some firms that I trust, that are in America, that are reputation recommended, that are trusted companies that will help you with your investment portfolio. But all of that necessitates your decision. You have to decide to no longer be ignorant, because ignorance will destroy you. Where we are going right now, if you decide to stay ignorant, you are going to lose in the long run. Whether you are 18, whether you are 70, whether you are 55, waiting for your 59 to get your 401k, let me tell you this: you need it. You need it. Because this IUL, for me, it is the best investment I did. And I literally, I am so grateful for my friend. I'm so grateful, so grateful for that investment, because to this day, it's the best investment I've made, because it protects my life. It protects me. I know that for a fact, if anything were to happen to me, my loved one are covered, because I not only cover them, but I also build wealth in the meantime and protect my asset in the meantime. So that's the best thing to do. So I'm going to stop here. Get all the information out there. Invest in knowledge. Get knowledge. Knowledge is the most important thing to have. So I hope that you will invest in yourself. And I will see you later. Bye.